Hey, what's up, guys? MoneyMatters here as usual. So this time we're going to be looking at some of the best companies you can buy in 2023. I always do this research for you every year, and I give you some of the best stocks you can be buying. I know you're looking to invest, you're looking to start investing. However much the economy is on a slowdown right now, you still want to make sure you're putting your money away consistently. Remember, it is just discipline, consistency, and commitment to that cause, and then you will just make it. You need that consistency. You need to be like constantly on that path. You need to be constantly building towards your goals. I want you to just look at this video or watch this video, share it with any other person you think it might be helpful to, and please follow the steps that I am going to put in here, or at least try to buy some of these companies. I do the work for you. I chew for you. All you need to do is swallow it, right? It's easy peasy. I'm going to show you some of the best companies that you want to be buying in 2023 in Kenya based on the economy. I always do this research so well and so deeply. So you know what? You don't have to do anything. I'm telling you the share price. I'm telling you the market capitalization. I'm telling you the earnings per share. I'm telling you the dividend yield. I'm telling you the growth of that particular stock. I'm telling you the potential of that stock. So basically, I'm handing it over to you on silver plate. So all you need to do is use it, utilize it to make some money, or utilize it to start the process of building wealth. Are we good? Let's get in. Number one, which is one of my favorites, you know it. I know you can guess it right now. It's Safaricom. Safaricom is one of my best companies, always at a communication company in Kenya. And now we don't just say in Kenya, it's everywhere, man. Safaricom has gone to Ethiopia right now as we speak. And not just the fact that it's expanding geographically, Safaricom has lots of services. So it's a Kenyan telecommunication company. It's engaged in SMS, short message service, voice calls, of course, data, internet, M-Pesa services, and then of course nowadays it has a lot of things on handsets, mobile broadbands and modems, routers, tablets, notebooks, laptops, and all those things. And with different pricing plans, they do both prepaid and postpaid. It's a growing company with lots of tandems, with lots of future. And I know the share price has dropped so far from where it was some time back when we were doing this kind of video. We were talking about 50, right now we're talking about 23 per share. This is the best time to buy Safaricom. If you're someone who's serious about investing, this is the best time for you to actually go in and buy Safaricom, because you know what? The share price has almost halved. It's basically half of what it used to cost some time back, almost half, okay? So it's an opportune moment for you to actually take as many or as much shares as you want to take and secure for yourself. Now, let's look at some of the other factors that would be very important for you to look at when talking about stocks. The first thing you want to look at in Safaricom is the share price. At the time we're shooting this video, Safaricom is at 23 Kenya shillings per share, which is very cheap. Guys, just get even 10,000 shares. And that's going to take you so far. You'll be so surprised. Forget about it. It's a long-term investment. No trading it. Buy it. Lock it in. Lock at that price in. Wait for things to happen. Because I know economy has been on a slowdown for the last 2 years, 2 to 3 years. It's going to get better. And you know what's going to happen? It's going to rebound and going to make money. Safaricom has its legs in so many places. It will not fail. So if you're waiting for Safaricom to fail, no. It might take time for it to rebound because of the economy, generally speaking, but Safaricom is still going to do well. So the share price of Safaricom, 23 Kenya shillings at the moment. So easy peasy, cheap as that compared to what it was before. If you are saying, 46, 47, or 50 was too high, I think it was like 45 last year sometime, then this is almost half price. The 52-week range has been between 23 to 45 Kenya shillings. So that's the 52-week range price. Market cap of Safaricom is at 936 billion as we speak. 936 billion. That's one of the biggest companies, actually the biggest in Kenya in terms of market capitalization. Is almost $1 trillion. But last year, sometime it was 1.1 trillion. So it was one of the first ones to hit the trillion mark in the NSE, Nairobi Stock Exchange. The outstanding shares at the moment is 40 billion, 40.1 billion outstanding shares. The forward price per earnings ratio, which is basically just price, or the EPS, which is the earnings per share. They're looking at, how does the price relate to the earnings per share for that particular stock. And for Safaricom, they have the forward PE of 16.67 at the moment. Now, there's trailing PE, there's forward PE, and then there's just PE. So there are ways in which you'd want to compare different companies, like comparing apples and apples. You want to compare different stocks, you want to look at the PE, and you want to look at sometimes the trailing, PE, the forward PE. If a company has very high PE, it could also mean that the price of that particular stock is overvalued. Okay, and therefore that's something you need to be careful about. If you want to look at it in terms of having low PE, sometimes that's a good thing. Most of the time that's a good thing. Usually when a company is not making any money or is just basically posting losses, then it won't have any PE really. So in real sense, people want a low PE for a particular stock so that it doesn't look like it's overvalued or something. Like they have some value that they can still rip out of that particular stock. So yes, forward PE of 16.67, earnings per share, which is the EPS, earnings per share is 1 Kenya shillings, 1.66, well, 1 shilling and 66 cents. And a dividend yield of 5.94%. That's really good. If you're looking for dividend stocks, Safaricom still falls in that group. Dividend yield of 5.9% is quite good. The next one is KCB Kenya, which is formerly Kenya Commercial Bank. It's a Kenyan bank that provides corporate and retail banking services for those who may not know. Remember, this is one of the best banks I've told you. If you want to invest in Kenya, one sector you want to look at is telecommunication. I've given you Safaricom. Banking sector, I'll give you a lot of them in banking sector. That's a really good area in Kenya. So if you're looking into investing in Kenya, you cannot invest in Kenya without the banking sector. Okay? So KCB offers various personal banking products and services such as savings and current accounts, personal loans, easy pay loans, salary advances, and credit facilities, Visa, MasterCard credit, and prepaid cards, Advantage banking services, and Biashara banking products. The company, which is overseen by the parent KCB Group Limited, also operates the Biashara Club that offers workshops on entrepreneurship and capacity building. Now, KCB Group is listed on NSE under the name or the symbol KCB. If you're looking for KCB, in the NSE, you will look for KCB. Okay, it's very simple. For Safaricom, I think you look for SCOM, right? So make sure you're looking at the right ticker symbol. That will then help you to identify that company well. KCB Group is currently the 4th most valuable stock on NSE market with a market cap of 123 billion. Now, what are some of the good things about KCB that makes you want to buy KCB? The share price is at 38 at the moment. Very good, very affordable for most people. Okay, so make sure you're looking at that. 52-week range price is between 34 and 50. Again, meaning we are looking at that 50 mark. Okay, so if you're thinking about the 52-week range, we're looking at the 50 mark, and I'm really hoping that when economy rebound, we are looking way beyond 50. The market cap, as I said, 123 billion Kenyan shillings, 4th largest in the NSE basically. The forward PE, price per earnings ratio, like I explained, is 3 shillings and 62 cents. The earnings per share at the moment is 10 shillings and 64 cents with a dividend yield of 7.72%. So the dividend yield of KCB at the moment is 7.72, which is quite high. So if you're looking for dividend companies, again, you have KCB. So the next one is Equity Group Holdings Limited, formerly Equity Bank. Okay, again, Kenyan-based commercial bank service. Again, most of you know why Equity is. You know why Equity has been doing so well, because Equity is so in touch with the consumers. It has captured every single person in the small, medium enterprise industry. So that's why it's doing so well, okay? Equity's Group 3 customer-facing lines of business include customers in small, medium enterprises and corporate. The consumer business line focuses on salaried customers or customers receiving other regular remittances, such as pensions. That's a really good demographic to look into. Now, Equity Group Holdings Limited is listed on NSE under the name EQTY, which is Equity, EQTY. So if you're looking for it, that's what you look for. Equity is currently 2nd most valuable stock on NSE with a market cap of how many? 173 billion. That's about 8% of NSE as a whole. Now, what makes you buy Equity? I love Equity as a bank. Share price 45. 52-week range of 38 to 55. Again, we're looking at that high end of 55. At 45 right now, you could make good money. Trust me. Market cap of 173 billion, like I said. Shares outstanding 3.7 billion. Forward PE of 4.34 and earnings per share of 10.38 Kenyan shillings. Dividend yield of 6.74%. That's why I'm thinking if you buy Equity right now, you're looking at those highs of 55 and 60s. That's a very good place to target in the next many years. Actually, not even 60s. I'm looking at 70, to be honest. If you give it that, if you look at the growth, look at the inflation, in the next 5-6 years, we're looking at around 60. Take my word on that. Equity has been expanding quite well, quite focused on the region, quite focused on their demographics, and people are really banking with equity. And you know what Ruto's government has been doing with equity as well. They are engaging the bank more, and we're hoping that that is going to continue in terms of all the other things that they are doing with the government. That usually boosts. Of course, there are a bit of a friction because there was that idea that equity supported Raila, but politics, okay? Equity is still used a lot with these government projects as well. So you wanna be where money is flowing. Okay, guys. The third one is East African Breweries Limited. I always say this, right? Kenyan-based holding company, manufactures branded alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. So this is a really good company. Kenya is a drinking nation. Whether you want it or not, we drink alcohol like crazy. That's not gonna end anytime soon. Despite the economy being on a slowdown, people will still have fun. We will still drink alcohol. EABL is listed on the NSE. East African Breweries is traded on NSE under the symbol of EABL. East African Breweries Limited is currently the third most valuable stock on NSE with a market cap of 139 billion, which is 7.06% of the NSE. So what would make you buy EABL? The share price 143 at the moment, very high because it's a valuable stock compared to the others. Not very high, but compared to the others, it's much higher. 52-week range of 110 to 188. So if you look at it in that particular context, you still have a lot of room for growth there if you want that, right? So 143, you can go all the way to 188, and not just that, you can break that ceiling. We're looking at 200 plus, okay? Market cap of 139 billion, sorry. Shares outstanding of 791 million with forward PE of 26.04 and earnings per share of 5.51 Kenya shillings, dividend yield of 2.61%. Again, EABL, one of the best companies, one of the most stable companies you can buy in Kenya, and one of the companies that I don't see going down anytime soon. So get yourself some. So the next one is Cooperative Bank of Kenya. I told you banks are coming up, and banks are the best place to put your money in Kenya right now. Very stable. They have been there for a long time. They have a good demographic. The economy is good for them because there's liquidity in the economy. When the economy is growing, when it's not like an established economy, you want to invest in the banking sector because a lot of people are getting into the banking system. So people come from the villages, people come from the farming areas, and then the money is fed into the banking system. That is where the money is still channeled because a lot of people are still not mature enough to basically use their money or find ways in which they can keep their money without being taken advantage of by the banks. So everything still goes through the banking system fully. Most savings still goes through the banking system, even investments through the banking system, so people are still not enlightened enough financially for them to like try and avoid the banks or use the banks to their advantage. The banks are pretty much, and not just in that sense as well, because the banks are also used to offer credits, okay? So they give a lot of loans and they charge a lot of money, and then they exploit their customers. I don't want to say that. And of course, now they make money. And for you as an investor, you want to make money from there, right? So the Cooperative Bank of Kenya is a Kenyan-based company offering banking services and other related services as well. It is trading under the ticker symbol of COP, C-O-O-P, and Cooperative Bank of Kenya Limited is currently the 5th most valuable stock in the NSE with a market cap of 73 billion, which is about 3% of the Nairobi Stock Exchange, okay? What would make you buy Coop Bank? The share price at the moment is 11. Oh my God, crazy, right? Let me just make sure that this is even true, to be honest. The day's low at the time I'm doing this particular video is 12 because I'm checking that. But when I did the research, it was up to 11. To be honest, that's like 1 shilling difference. But yes, share price at the moment is 12. It was when I was doing my research on my notes. It was 11.25. 52-week range of between 10 and 14. So again, you have some little room for growth. But I like it because of stability. Market cap, we are looking at 66 billion at this particular time. It was, let's just check, the latest one is 73 billion, okay? So initial it was 66 billion. Again, shows that a lot of liquidity in there. As you see, outstanding shares of 5.8 billion, forward PE of 5.6, earnings per share of 1.98, and dividend yield of 8.89%. The dividend yield of Coop is really, really good. But again, sometimes when you have a higher dividend yield, you want to check that the company is not using all its returns on paying dividends. So you want to be careful with those companies that have very high dividends as well. But that's Coop Bank for you. Another bank is coming up, guys. Absa Bank of Kenya, formerly known as Barclays Bank of Kenya. It's a Kenyan-based financial provider, financial services provider. The bank operates in 2 segments, consumer banking and corporate banking. This is one of the best banks, one of the most stable banks, one of the banks that is backed up by, a lot of other conglomerates.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
I don't know. Conglo? Man, my editor should put that word down here. I always find a problem, pronunciating that word. Conglomerates. Okay? Anyway, Absa Bank is a really stable bank financially speaking. Absa is traded on under the ticker on NSE under the ticket under the ticker symbol of Absa. Okay, it's the 6th most valuable stock right now in the NSE with a market cap of 68 billion, which is around 3.4% of the NSE. Why would you want to buy it? What are some of the things that makes it attractive? The share price at the moment is at 10 Kenya shillings, 52-week range of 9 to 12. So we have 2 shillings growth rate, as in the growth room. Market cap of around 56.8 billion. Shares outstanding of 5 billion. Forward PE of 5.23. Earnings per share of 2 Kenya shillings. And a dividend yield of 10%. Sorry, that's a really good one. But again, like I said, be careful. But the banking sector has been very stable. No need to panic. No need to worry. They're still going to be there for a long time. And then again, the next one we have the Standard Chartered Bank of Kenya. Standard Chartered Bank, also known as StanChart, okay, formerly operated as Standard Chartered Bank Kenya Limited, provides services in the financial sector. According to Central Bank of Kenya website, the Standard Chartered Bank of British South Africa was granted a commercial banking license in 1910. Its first 2 locations, Nairobi, Mombasa, the major cities in Kenya. But the main thing we are interested in is at the time of doing this, the share price of Standard Chartered is 132. The 52-week range of 121 and 148. That gives you a lot of room for growth, okay? Market cap of Standard Chartered at the moment is 49 billion. Shares outstanding of 378 million. Forward PE of 5.62. Earnings per share of 23.49 Kenya shillings with a dividend yield of 14%. Whoa, that's amazing. That's Standard Chartered. The next one, number 8, British American Tobacco Kenya Limited, the BAT. Again, one of the best, okay? Kenya is home to British American Tobacco Limited, which is basically a cigarette and tobacco products production or manufacturing company, okay? The company is owned by British American Tobacco PLC, a prominent multi-category consumer products firm through which it distributes and sells cigarettes to other distributors and other companies as well. Currently, the share price of this company is at 445 Kenya shillings, which is very high compared to the others. That tells you, when it becomes like a company that has like outside roots, you never know. That's how things happen, man. Our local companies don't have that kind of price. Outside companies, look at the price. Anyway, politics, right? 52-week range of 400 to 512. So if you think of 445 at the moment, it can still go all the way to 512. That's a huge opportunity for growth. This is a very stable company, good history, good management, good market cap. At the moment, it's 44 billion Kenya shillings. Outstanding shares of 100 million, quite good. Forward PE of 6.86 with the earnings per share of 64 Kenya shillings per share. Dividend yield is at 12%. Then we have Stanbic Bank of Kenya. Banks are here, man. Banks are here. This is a good sign for you if you want to invest in the banking sector. Stanbic Bank of Kenya with a current market value of 41 billion or around 1.97 of the NSE market, equity market. Share price is 106 Kenya shillings at the moment, 52-week range of 82 to 108, market cap of 41 billion Kenya shillings, shares outstanding of that 395 million, forward PE of 5.81, earnings per share of 18 per share with dividend yield at 12.3%. And finally, NCBA Group. Again, this another bank. Man, this list is just all banks based on all the factors I was looking at. It seems the banking sector has taken the cap, especially in 2023, right? With a current value of 40 billion Kenya shillings, around 1.9% of the NSE equity market, the NCBA Group PLC is the 10th most valuable company in the NSE. Share price of 24, which is really good for those who want to invest. And by the way, this company is a really good company. NCBA is a good place to put your money right now. For reasons I might not tell you, but take my word for it. 52-week range of 23 to 29. So we're still looking at very good growth in there. Market capitalization of 40 billion. Shares outstanding of 1.6 billion with a forward PE of 3.95. Earnings per share of 6.21 Kenya shillings. Dividend yield of 12%. I've given you everything you need to make this year a success. Everything you need to make this year a success. Go and make it a success. Until next time, I'm out.